A demonstration of superior judgment.
Hey everyone, this is Scrapcomputer here. This video is going to cover the flip side on something I get a lot on my stream. What are the worst roles to carry with? I want to cover both ends and the reasons. My other video on what are the best roles to carry with is also on my channel if you want to check that out. I'll cover the roles and the actual reasons to why I believe the role mentioned is one of the worst in terms of hard carry potential. Top lane. First up, let's cover the top lane. Most players refer to the top lane as being an island. As you can see below in the example, the top lane is the most isolated lane by far. In addition, the top lane is generally filled with lane bullies or late game skillers. This is a double-edged sword. This means that most tops will remain there in their lane to keep bullying, or of course remain there to soak up all of the gold and experience so they can get to late game. Most of the top laners are orientated in either way and very few are anything else, so generally speaking they're not going to be moving very much. Start game they will have a lot of trouble coming towards any team fight that will generally erupt around the dragon. The top is, well, top. They both remain there and just farm. The amount of time it would take to get to the top lane, to the bot lane, to get to the dragon is just simply too great. Assuming by the time they get there, the dragon fight will be over. If they start from top lane to walk down there when the fight starts, it's over by the time they get there. Hence, it's pointless to roam. This is why so many top laners just sit there and don't impact anything besides their own lane. Now, the top lane can of course crush their enemy laner extremely heavily, but due to this lane's isolated nature, it's quite difficult to press the advantage as with other roles, as you can barely roam and throw around your weight until mid or late game. The lion's share of the pressure top provides is mainly orientated around top lane split pressure. This is the only main majority of pressure they will be generating. They will remain in lane and generally punish their laners so heavily people will have to roam to alleviate it. This is the only way, and again, this is only under the assumption you're crushing your laner. Without crushing them, you're not going to generate any pressure. You're not going to perpetuate any advantage. You're only going to get stronger from mid to late game, where everyone else has equally got as strong. You can't shut anyone else down, realistically speaking. You can't go to the other lanes, you can't go mid lane, you're not really great at ganking. You can, of course, but it's hard to do in most of the mid top lane champions. You can't go bot, it's too far away. And if you do teleport, you're just going to lose a turret because the other top laner, more than likely because of the reasons I previously mentioned, will not leave the lane. So overall, you're going to be stuck up there for all of the game, only be able to affect one champion, and that's it. The only way to hard carry extremely heavily top is by annihilating, literally evaporating your enemy from the lane. This can be hard to do for most players on a consistent basis. It's not that the top lane Riven can go 30-0 and 1v5. She can do that and carry, I've seen it happen. But can you do that every game? No, it's impossible. No player on Earth can win every single top lane matchup ever. It's just impossible. You're going to be versus a counter, you're going to get jungle ganked, something's going to happen. You're going to get roamed upon. Something will happen. If you don't smash your lane and you go approximately even, which is generally the resultant factor in most matchups, you're going to have limited carry potential and you're going to have to rely upon being an underfed assassin top or bully top, or of course more commonly kind of just meh-fed tank frontliner, which mid to late game doesn't have very much carry potential, both of which don't sound very carry like, and they're not. Overall, I don't like this role for carrying. I feel it's too isolated. You can't impact other lanes, you can't shut down other lanes. If someone gets out of hand bot lane, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing at all. You can't push the dragon, you can't go mid and gank very much. You're just going to stay top, you're not going to perpetuate without a very heavy lead, and overall, I don't like this lane. I don't think it can carry very well. Of course, it's not the end of the world. It can do very well, you can do extremely well, you can go mid to late game and be a very, very good factor in team fights, but in terms of overall, it's limited. Support. Now, one role I assume 99% of you were expecting. The support role start game revolves around assisting a carry, an AD carry, and punishing or surviving the laning phase mostly. And sometimes, I grant you'll have a middle ground of juggling the two. The support is the role with the power to control the lane and generate both zone control pressure, and of course generate opportunities for the AD carry to act upon. The support can make or break start game laning phase for both AD carries, the enemy and your own. First up, you can easily give yourself and your AD carry a victory start game by doing some 420 thrashing hook engages and getting a kill. You can even give your AD carry another 2 more kills in the laning phase on top of this. Even if you play perfectly, you give them kills, you zone the enemy lane around, you push them out of lane, there's always the underlying risk that your AD carry will not be able to translate this into an actual victory. Avid AD carries, I have figuratively spoon-fed 15 kills a few games ago, and they have not been able to translate this into a victory at all. They couldn't kite well, they couldn't position at all, they ate the enemy skill shots and they couldn't land their own. Getting a player fed regardless on how well you play and them just not performing is the main risk of the support role. Regardless of how amazingly you do, you can shoulder your burden in the laning phase, which is your thing. You can play amazingly, get that AD carry through the laning phase. But as soon as the AD carry's time mid to late game comes, they might not shoulder it to a same degree that you did. They may fall short. You could lose for that. Imagine the flip end. Assume you're playing perfectly, you can still lose to the laning phase with a bad AD carry, regardless of how well you're playing. If you're playing something like a Leona, you have to engage and go all in. We've all had that AD carry that will leave you in no man's land after an engage, with a facepalm moment. We've all had that AD carry that eats a million blitz hooks. We've all had that carry who won't take the Thresh Lantern. We've all had these carries. You can lose lane just because your AD carry ain't great. And even if you do well, you've very little hope mid to late game that carry can carry. When a support hits mid to late game, the utility is extremely useful, but again requires your team to play it right. You can land as many 5-man Sona ultimates as you like. It does not matter if your team do not respond or are appropriated with some sort of other play. The support role relies on their team heavily. They provide utility, protection, and a tiny drop of damage in some cases. These things can't carry. You single-handedly can't carry. You can help your whole team in combining together, but you can't carry. Without them, you won't be able to win the game. This isn't to say an amazing support can't carry. They can. But it's one of the hardest roles due to this reliancy on both your AD carry and overall the team. Now, I do want to mention for these roles, at high level play, this isn't as much of a factor. Of course, I do want to mention that these roles can carry like hell and they're extremely powerful. I myself, and my secondary main is support, I can carry lanes, I can carry games, I can make plays. It's all possible. I'm just saying there is a less of an opportunity to win with these roles overall in terms of carry potential. If you're a jungler or support main, please do not be disheartened at this fact. Honestly, you can still extremely hard carry with these roles if you're good enough. It's all about how you play. I'm just mentioning this overall as a role. I'm just mentioning the role. The role itself has a lesser degree, but you're the deciding factor in this. You, yourself, and how you play, you're the factor. These roles may not be able to carry, but in saying that, if you're playing it perfectly, you will. You will be able to do something. You'll be able to make 100 blitz hooks and you'll win your team the game by that. You'll be able to go top in and go 30-0 in Riven. You'll be able to pick up that support Janna and protect and disengage a big massive AoE composition team fight. You can make the plays, you can carry with these roles. It's just slightly less likely. I just wanted to mention that. And that's it for the video, guys. Just covering a quick video scratching over the basics to why these roles are sometimes harder to carry with. And that's it. If you like it, dislike it, dislike it. If you like the content, you can subscribe. Or if you think I'm totally wrong and it's totally garbage and you hate me, you can unsub if you already were. I'm totally fair. Besides that, guys, as always, have a great day and best of luck in the Rift.